झाले की सगळं झालं. हे आपल्या मीटिंगच होईल. ऍडमिट 12 गेट्स झाले की थँक्यू सर. हे ऍडमिट 14 गेस्ट ऑटोमॅटिक तू काय तो फक्त तुझं काम चालू आहे तेच वाढायला लागेल म्हणून रोजच्या घेते लिंक व्हॉट्सअप. इथं जॉईन ओके कळलं ना. येस केलं सर झालं सर बघा सर आता येस झालं सर. हो माझा नेमकं व्हॉट्सअप. अरे ठीक आहे सर झाले ते ऑटोमॅटिक व्हायरल व्हायरल. तसं नाही ना रे मग इंटू बिंटू बघायचं ना डायरी सांग टेन्शन बघतात. हा इथं आहे का चालू टीचर युट्यूब आहे. युट्यूब आहे मग आता इथं आहेच ते. हा डब्ल्यू केलं का स्टार्ट केलं केले की मीटिंग आहे. ते आता ते तसं कट करू नका हो द्यायचं दुसरं ते कट करा तो चालेल. फक्त आता फक्त हे चालू दे तुम्ही. येस येस हेच हा बोलून दे बाकी काय करू नका आता. हा सेटिंग केला का हो ते क्लोज करतो का हे ना हा कॅमेरा त्यांचा बंद करायची. हा कुठे काही तुमचा व्हॉट्सअप इथं ओपन आहे का व्हॉट्सअप हँग झालं. इथं पण घेऊ कशाला घेऊ ठीक आहे स्कॅन करू माझं नेमकं व्हॉट्सअप बघलं येस येस येस. युट्यूबचा बघतो मी लाईव्ह बॅटरी लावलं चार्जिंग लावलं 1.5 तास. असं खाली बघून होतं बोलल्यासारखं होतं म्हणून म्हणलं. मागं सर हेच मागं सर असं खाली बघून बोलल्यासारखं होतं. इथे इथं. ओके ओके ओके. हे काय ना स्टँड असं हे असं तिचं स्टँड बघ आणलो नाही. 350 एवढंच बोलतो पहिला. चेहरा न दाखवता पहिला बोलतो.
Prathamesh sir, whether I'm audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
Okay.
Yes. So, stop. Sir, बंदच करतो. Yes. I met one guest. व्हायला लागलं ना? हां. लाईव्ह होत आहे तुम्ही पाहिजे. ओके. तो वाईट सिलिंग नका विश्वास नाही. म्हणून इथं केलं आपला दिसतंय. मॅडम जॉईन झालेत का? कुठले? ते चारुल मॅडम होता. इथे दिसलं मी दिसला की दिसलं. हां. कुठे? हां रेकॉर्ड करायचं का? हां रेकॉर्ड करायचं की सर. युट्यूबवर नाही युट्यूबवर वापरायचं. सुरू करतो बोला. कोकण पण ते चांगलं नाही तसे पण बघू शकतो. A very good afternoon, everyone, and a very warm welcome, all of you. I am Professor Prathamesh Andeli, coordinator of the Institute's Innovation Council, and it is my pleasure to be your host for this afternoon sessions. We are gathering here today for a very special reason. On this very day, the 29th of July in the year of 2020, the National Education Policy was announced. Today, the complete 6 years of NEP 2020. To mark this occasion, the institution's Innovation Council of Hirachand Nemchand College of Commerce, Solapur, in association with the Department of Management Studies, has organized this national level expert talk on a topic that touches every one of us in the teaching community. It's called Effective Implementation of NEP 2020, the role of teachers in educational transformation. I am delighted to see faculty members from several institutions joining us today, along with the faculty members of our own institution. Thank you
all for being here. Before we begin, a quick request for all the participants, kindly keep your microphones on mute throughout the session. We will have a question and answer round towards the end, and we can also post your questions in the chat box. We will take them at the end. This session is also being streamed live on YouTube, so those who could not join the meeting can watch it there. And please make sure your display name shows your full name and institution. Thank you. Our session will start shortly.
फॉर्म भरताना तो TMWS केला असेल तर होतं, नाही केला तर येत नाही. काय काय? नाही नाही, काय नाही ना, गर्ल्स पण होतं तेव्हा काही सर नाही. मार्क त्याच्यात तुम्हाला असेल मग काय प्रॉब्लेम, गर्ल्स बेनिफिट मिळतो. गर्ल्स बेनिफिट सगळ्याला मिळतो, जे गर्ल्स आहेत त्यांना मिळतो. काही चालेल. आलं का? आलं. किती ओबीसीला बदल केले ना सांगली. 5 तारखेला आपल्याकडे बदल दिली.
हाँ चलो मैं क्लास ले रही हूँ जल्दी बोलो.
Our today's key speaker, Professor Dr. Charul Jain ma'am, she had joined the session. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yes. And we will start within 5 minutes.
So.
नाही नाही टर्न झालं नाही का टर्न बसला नाही लांबून टर्न घ्यायला पाहिजे ड्रायव्हरला जजमेंट आलं नाही
शामियाना का शामियाना हो शामिया
उनके बाद तो अपने जितने बाकी सर्विसेज
A very good afternoon to everyone, respected dignitaries and dear teachers and my colleagues. On behalf of the institution's Innovation Council and the Department of Management Studies of Hirachand Nemchand College of Commerce, Solapur, I extend a heartfelt welcome to each one of you. I welcome our respected principal, Dr. Satyajit Shah sir, whose constant support makes every IIC activity possible. I welcome Dr. Preetham Kothari sir, head of the Department of Management Studies and president of our IIC, under whose guidance our council has been growing from strength to strength. And I warmly welcome all the faculty members joining us from the other institutions. Your presence has truly made this national level gathering. Friends, NEP 2020 is not just a policy document. It is a vision for how India will learn, teach, and grow in the coming decades. But a policy, however visionary, comes alive only in the classroom. And that is where the teacher stands at the center of this transformation. How do we, as teachers, actually implement NEP in our daily teaching? What changes in our role, our methods, and our mindset? These are the questions we will explore today. And we could not have asked for a better person to guide us. It is my honor to introduce our distinguished resource person for today, Professor Dr. Charul Jain Madam. Madam is professor at Tirthankar Mahavir University, Uttar Pradesh, with more than 2 decades of experience in higher education, leadership development, and organizational transformation. She has completed her postdoctoral research in sustainability and global employability skills from University of Technology, Sydney, Australia. She is a Government of India certified master trainer in soft skills and employability skills and a TEDx license and curator. Madam has designed and implemented several competency-based curricula aligned with NEP 2020, outcome-based education, and national credit framework. Her research spans artificial intelligence in HRM, green HRM, employability skills, and Industry 5.0. Her work has been recognized with several honors, including the LinkedIn Emerging Leader in Higher Education Award and the Leader in Education National Award. In short, when it comes to translating NEP 2020, from paper to practice, Madam speaks not just from study but from experience. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Professor Dr. Charul Jain Madam. The Now, I request our respected President of IIC, Dr. Pritam Kothari sir, to welcome.
Thank you, Prathamesh. Respected chief guest of our today's session, Professor Dr. Charul Jain ma'am, Honorable Principal Dr. S.K. Shah sir, Principal Directors from various institutions, distinguished academicians, participants from various institutions across the country, dear colleagues and beloved students. A very good afternoon to everyone. It is my privilege and honor to extend a warm and heartful welcome to all of you for this national level expert talk organized by Department of Management Studies in association with IIC, that is Institutions Innovation Council of Hirachand Nemchand College of Commerce, on the occasion of National Education Policy Day. It is indeed a great coincidence that today we are celebrating National Education Policy Day, we are celebrating Guru Purnima, and on this auspicious occasion, we have organized this national level expert talk. So before proceeding further, I wish you all a very happy Guru Purnima. Today's program has been organized to deliberate upon one of the most significant educational reform of our time, that is National Education Policy 2020, which envisions an inclusive, multidisciplinary, skill-oriented, and future-ready education system. The theme of today's expert talk, that is effective implementation of NEP 2020, the role of teacher in educational transformation, is both timely and relevant as a teacher remains the driving force behind every successful educational reform. Before proceeding further, I would like to take a moment to introduce our institution. Hirachand Nemchand College of Commerce, Solapur. It was established in the year 1972 and is one of the premier educational institutions in the region. The college functions under the visionary management of Sri Allak Pannalal Digambar Jain Pathshala Trust, an educational trust which was established in the year 1985 with the noble motto of education is the religion. For over a century, the trust has been committed to imparting a quality education and nourishing ethical values among the students. Our college was granted autonomous status in the year 2021-22, enabling us the designing innovative curriculum aligned with the national priorities and industry expectation. We got prestigious A grade from NAC. The Department of Management Studies has proud legacy of excellence. Our MBA program was started in the year 1981, and it is the first MBA program in Solapur region. While BBA and BCA program were introduced in the year 2003, have consistently produced competent professionals and entrepreneurs. Through academic initiatives, research activities, industry collaboration, faculty development programs, student-centric innovations, the department remains committed to preparing future-ready graduates in line with the vision of NEP 2020. Today, we are indeed privileged to have esteemed key speaker, Professor Dr. Charul Jain, an eminent academician, researcher. She has made remarkable contribution in the area of leadership development, employability, sustainability, AI in HRM, curriculum innovation, educational transformation. Her vast experience and insightful perspective will undoubtedly enrich our understanding of implementing NEP 2020 effectively especially in higher educational institutions. Ma'am, on behalf of our beloved principal, Dr. S.K. Shah sir, the management, faculty members, students, and staff, all the participants present today, I extend you a very warm and cordial welcome. We are truly grateful for your valuable time and willingness to share your expertise with us. I also extend my sincere appreciation to all faculty members, academicians, and participants who have joined us online from different institutions across the country. Your enthusiastic participation reflects our shared commitment towards strengthening the quality of education. I would also like to acknowledge the continuous support and encouragement of our respected principal, Dr. S.K. Shah sir, whose visionary leadership inspired to organize meaningful academic program. My sincere thanks to all the IIC committee members, special thank to the IIC coordinator, Mr. Prathamesh, who is working hard on this event since from last so many days. As Nelson Mandela rightly said, education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. Let all make the best use of the opportunity to learn, reflect, and engage in meaningful discussions that will help us to become effective educators and contribute towards building a progressive and empowered education system. Once again, I extend a heartfelt welcome to our today's key speaker and all the participants. Thank you. I wish the program a grand success. Thank you. Thank you very much. Over to you, Prathamesh.
Thank you so much, sir, for addressing such warmly to the whole meeting. And now I request the chief guest, Professor Dr. Charul Jain, madam, to take the center stage.
Madam, do you want to share the PPT?
Yes.
Okay. Prathamesh, stop sharing. She will
Yes.
join she will share the PPT.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you to Himachal College of Commerce, Solapur. Thanks to S.K. Shah sir, the chairman of IIC, Dr. Kothari sir, and Prathamesh sir for the hard work and making this event come in inception. Today's title indeed is about implementation of NEP and the role of teachers, that is you and I together, how we can transform and contribute back. Before I dive into everything into a discussion, planting a seed in the mind. Today in our classrooms, we have Gen Zs and Gen Alpha seated together. Today we all are struggling with artificial intelligence, which is from generative to agentic. Just a thought to be planted in the minds of all the bright teachers sitting together today. Who is teaching these students who are seated inside the classroom? Somebody else or us? Answer is us. Who created this AI? Our students, we the mentors, the scientists, the data scientists, who has trained all these people? Again, we the teachers. So my dear colleagues, to begin with this notion, I say that AI has not created us. We have created AI. And all the students who are seated inside the classrooms are the ones who would be the final product of what we, you and I, do with them inside the classroom. Therefore, what NEP 2020 says that teacher is no more a teacher. Now, the teacher has become the architect of change. We no more have to move towards completion of the content. Rather, we have to move towards transforming the life of the students. The same NEP says policies don't transform the classrooms. Who does? Teachers, that is you and I. Just as Kalam sir has inspired many of us, he transformed many of our lives. NEP totally believes in the transformation that is coming from the teachers. So this is a happy news that NEP completely believes in you and I, that is us together as teachers. With this, I would like to share a small video which I prepared specially for you all. Please let me know in case if you're missing on the sound.
Okay, let's dive into this.
Is it audible? Is this audible, sir?
Yes, ma'am, it's running. Yes.
But we're absolutely not going to look at it through the lens of administrators or get bogged down in political jargon. Zeroing in on the actual day-to-day practice of teaching. Because historically, every single educational policy succeeds or fails at one critical point of contact. And that's you. To the actually
can we have the members? Can we have the participants to be muted? Thank you. In the benefit of all the members, I restart this. This is a nutshell of what NEP 2020 speaks for the teachers.
Absolutely not going to look at it through the lens of administrators or get bogged down in political jargon. No way. We're zeroing in on the actual day-to-day practice of teaching. Because historically, every single educational policy succeeds or fails at one critical point of contact. And that's you, the teacher. So let's strip away all the policy speak and get right to the heart of what this transformation actually means for you in your classroom. Here's a pretty powerful reality check for us. Policies don't transform classrooms. Teachers do. It's incredibly true, isn't it? The NEP 2020 isn't just some giant document to comply with. It's an entirely new mindset that we have to adopt. I mean, it has 66 different policy provisions, but there's really only one common denominator across every single one of them. And frankly, that's you. The gap between policy and practice, well, it's always been deeply human, not administrative. Which brings us to a slightly uncomfortable question. The NEP 2020 is over 5 years old now. So how much has your classroom actually changed? How many of you have fundamentally redesigned a syllabus, swapped out an assessment, or completely changed a teaching method directly because of this policy? I'll just let that unspoken answer sit there for a second. It really just proves that changing education takes a whole lot more than just signing a government document. Now, if we were to take all 66 of those provisions and boil them down, they really stand on 5 core pillars: access and equity, flexibility, quality, affordability, and accountability. When you strip away all that dense bureaucratic language, the policy is essentially looking us in the eye and asking one fundamental question. Are we still teaching the exact way we were taught, or are we finally teaching the way today's learners actually need us to? Section 1, teachers as curriculum architects. Now, what's really interesting about this is the massive mindset shift it demands from us. Historically, the teacher's role was, well, kind of passive, We were implementers. You delivered a fixed syllabus, you evaluated students based on how well they memorized it. Essentially, we were teaching them what to think. But the new role, you are an architect. You're now expected to design these dynamic, flexible pathways and really act as a mentor to independent thinkers. We're teaching them how to think. The NEP gives teachers this unprecedented level of autonomy. But we have to remember, curriculum flexibility is completely meaningless if teachers don't take full ownership of it. Let's just pause on this thought for a second. NEP doesn't need better policies. It needs braver teachers. Autonomy is really only as good as the educator who is willing to step up and actually use it. It takes real bravery to step away from that fixed, comfortable syllabus you've known for years and years and become the architect of something entirely new. Section 2, 6 key classroom shifts. All right, let's pick up the pace a bit here because we're now going to break down the specific trials and the daily pedagogical changes required in your classroom. Shift number 1 is multidisciplinary curricula. We absolutely have to break out of these single discipline silos. You know, a physics student, psychology minor shouldn't be this bizarre, unusual thing anymore. Thanks to the Academic Bank of Credits, or ABC, students now have multiple entry and exit points. So as teachers, we need to co-design cross-departmental electives, not just gatekeep our own subjects. Imagine, for example, an English professor collaborating with the computer science department on a digital storytelling elective. That's a real game changer. What is just one course you could co-teach with an entirely different department this year? Let's move on to the second shift, experiential learning. Look, rote recall is fading fast, especially in our AI-driven world. Project-based, problem-based, and field-based learning absolutely must take priority. We have to move from what to think to how to think. For instance, instead of just making students memorize a bunch of formulas in a commerce class, what if you ran a live mock stock portfolio, right? Even theory-heavy subjects like law or history can be completely transformed with case simulations, debates, or real-world field visits. Our third shift is assessments. We are finally moving away from those traditional methods. You know the ones, that single, massive, high-stakes exam, rigid bell curves, and just testing pure recall. Instead, the NEP 2020 vision focuses on continuous formative checkpoints, rubrics that evaluate actual, tangible skills, and 360-degree holistic progress radars. Now, I completely acknowledge that changing from a simple, single-number grading system to holistic progress cards is a massive shift. And yes, for sure, it means more evaluation work on your end, but it's absolutely essential if we're going to assess real growth and not just how well a student can memorize a textbook. Shift 4 is technology integration. Platforms like Swayam and Diksha, they aren't optional anymore. Blended learning is now a formal policy expectation. We really need to reframe the narrative here. Technology is now pedagogy. It's not just the IT department's job to figure out. You can so easily flip your classrooms, assign the theory portion via Swayam video for homework, and then use your incredibly valuable classroom time for deep discussion and hands-on application. Remember, your digital literacy as a teacher directly gates the digital literacy of your students. Shift 5 focuses on cultivating a research-driven culture. Under the NEP, research is envisioned as an integral part of undergraduate education. It's not just something reserved for postgrads or PhDs anymore. You are now a mentor of inquiry. We need to inspire each other to make every single classroom a site of inquiry, where undergrad students are actually co-authoring small research notes right alongside you. That high-level Scopus and UDC Care publishing culture, it needs to trickle down to student projects as well. And the final shift is vocational integration. The NEP has a clear target, getting 50% of learners exposed to vocational education by 2025. This means industry linkages and internships are now credit-bearing. They aren't just fun extracurriculars anymore. So here's the challenge for you. What is just one skill-based module you could bolt onto your existing syllabus this year? You don't need a massive top-to-bottom overhaul to get started. You could literally just add a digital content writing module to a traditional literature course, for example. We need to make sure every degree is a skill-ready degree. Section 3, confronting the real barriers. Let's deliberately slow down for a second and step into the abyss here to acknowledge the honest hurdles. Let's be completely candid with each other. Here's the honest truth. Anyone who stands up here and tells you this transformation is easy hasn't actually tried to implement it themselves. We are dealing with severe workload constraints. Redesigning courses takes time that faculty, frankly, often just don't have. There's a glaring lack of outcome-based pedagogy training out there. Then, of course, there's just natural human resistance to change because the old system is familiar, it's comfortable. And let's definitely not forget the vastly unequal digital infrastructure across different institutions. These barriers are very real and they're incredibly hard to overcome. So the crucial point is this: transformation fatigue is real, but so is transformation urgency. It is an exhausting time to be an educator right now, and that fatigue is totally valid, but we simply cannot afford to wait. The world is moving way too fast, and our students need us to catch up like yesterday. Section 4, your practical action plan. Okay, let's shift our energy back up toward the climb. We know the challenges, so what do we actually do about them? Let's focus on exactly what you can do next. Here is your highly actionable checklist starting this coming Monday. Step 1, redesign just one unit this term using an experiential or project-based method. Step 2, add one formative assessment tool like a grading rubric or maybe a peer review exercise. Step 3, identify one cross-department collaboration opportunity. Step 4, complete one SWAM or FDP module on outcome-based teaching for your own growth. And step 5, mentor one student on a small research or skill-based project. See? Small, specific, intentional actions absolutely always beat grand, unsustained overhauls. You can actually do these 5 things. And please remember that you are not alone in this journey. You have institutional support systems at your fingertips, IQAC cells for structured quality improvement, faculty development programs, and refresher courses, the whole existing academic bank of credits infrastructure, and peer mentorship circles. You should be actively demanding these resources from your leadership. Don't just sit back and wait for a top-down mandate. Treat this as a form of two-way accountability. Use what already exists to help make your transition so much smoother. Section 5, nation building, starts here. As we wrap up this explainer, let's zoom way out and look at the biggest picture of all. Let's connect the dots from your individual desk to the future of the country. And this brilliantly illustrates how impact scales up. It literally starts right in your classroom, it spreads to your institution, and eventually it transforms the entire nation. India's demographic dividend and the incredibly ambitious vision of a Viksit Bharat by 2047, that depends entirely on the quality of the graduates you produce today. Every single time you redesign a unit or mentor a student in a new way, you are directly fueling that national transformation. This is generational work, folks, and you are the generation doing it. I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. You don't need permission to transform your classroom. You need intention. Will you lead it? Okay.
Really a mind-provoking thought. Do we really need any permission to transform our classrooms? No. As I mentioned earlier, the students are the ones who are the next CEOs, CFOs, CHROs, founders, businessmen. Constitutional assemblies are filled with numerous students. Where are these students coming from? They're coming from our classrooms. And NEP 2020 empowers all of us to transact that change and become the architecture of the change. And how we do that? It is completely on us. First and foremost, we all have to imbibe the mind shift for ourselves. It is not a document. Please get out of the information overload. It is a 66 policy document. Let us come out. What it wants from us, that is we, the teachers, let's focus only on that. The NEP 2020 expects only one thing from the teachers, that we become the shaper, the architects of the future for all the students. And how we do that? It is through designing the flexible model of learning for the students, using various interdisciplinary pathways with the independent thinkers. At the Thankar Mahavir University, we have 110 programs running inside one university. I'm very happy to share. We do multidisciplinary learning with all the students. Our BBA students will surely learn something into digital. The students studying in CS and IT, AI and ML is going to learn something into finance planning. So there has to be a cross-functional learning. Student need to have this mindset. He cannot work in silos. He needs to work together with everybody. So that shift comes from us. We need to shape our mind, tell it to the student, start thinking from what you think. The first question, the favorite question of each teacher inside the classroom is, okay, tell me, what do you think? No. Every student thinks. The Bloom's taxonomy says every student has a learning. Let's move towards asking, how do you think? And how do you wish to think? And this brings an innovative idea that each individual student is unique in my classroom. So in case if I have 40 or 60 students seated in my classroom means you and I as teachers, as transformers, each individual student would be going through a holistic assessment. And this assessment is going to be way beyond his or her degree which he or she is pursuing at undergrad, master's, or maybe at PhD level. We have to move to that level. Yes, degree is there, transcript is there, but is there a rubric which defines the decision-making, patience, decision, the emotional intelligence of the student? Let us define that. This is all NEP wants from us. Let's see how it works. It's just a gap between the policy given by the government of India and how we practice it. It is nothing more than that. So it's just a shift of mindset to adopt. Yes, NEP 2020 is now more than 5 years old. But please, I was talking to my school teacher today morning and I was wishing her Happy Guru Purnima and Charan Sparsh. And then I just sat in a pause for a minute and thought, Charan, are you going to do the same kind of pedagogical approach to train your students in the class the way you were being trained? Is it going to work? My teacher said, Charu, it's not going to work. And imagine which teacher I'm talking about, who taught me in primary segment from 1st to 5th and then secondary 6th to 9th. When teachers of those times are able to realize the same pedagogical approach is not going to work in the digital era and AI era, let us also shift our mindsets. Our teachers have done it, let's do it. There are more than 66 policy provisions, but the only common denominator, the person between the policy and the shift is us, teachers. We actually have to get out of all the jargons coming together. I'll share some of the transitions from my recent research, which I have posted on LinkedIn, and that's the best way of bringing all the academicians together. I'll share those reviews also. Here we need to really strip away from all the jargons, all the technical words that were a part of foundations. But we need to come on a common path. That means how my individual learner is going to learn inside the classroom. They may be different. Student learning in a different pattern. We cannot shift as a teacher. We cannot shift different techniques every time. There has to be a commonality between the teaching pedagogy. But we can have individual focus on the students using rubric. Therefore, let us have the assess and equity. Let us evaluate the students individually. Today at Tirthankar Mahavir University, when I'm training the students at TIMIT, that's what we call Tirthankar Mahavir Institute of Management and Technology, that's a commerce and management college, we have more than 3,000 students under the roof. And believe me, we map the background of each individual student. So when I talk to one student who is a lady in the 3rd year of BBA, and she wished to become a chocolate manufacturer. She doesn't have a business background, coming from a service family. Then, when I interact with her inside my classroom sessions, that creates impact, flexibility, multidisciplinary approach. My finance graduate needs to know what is marketing. My marketing student needs to know what is HR. And all these people need to know what is Python. Because in industry now, Python is required from a management student. So that multidisciplinary approach drives the student towards the industry orientation. This industry could be anything, whether they work for somebody else's business or they start their own business. But everything rounds about when we together change the mind shift. Then comes the quality. NEP often, mostly talks about outcome based learning, which is mostly integrated towards research. When we talk in terms of research, it brings a lot of wrinkles on the forehead. Not to worry. The answer to it is whatever student does in the classroom sessions, they need to knit all the learning systematically one after the other. To quote an example, if a student is going for internship, what if we start talking in terms of we all write research, so let us just try to visualize it. What if we tell the student, what are you going to do and what would be the probable outcome? Don't we think it is the exact what we write in the abstract? Then introduction, then lit review, then all the parts. The student also starts learning how to do systematic learning. Affordability. Affordability definitely relates to the cost, but here the cost is time as well. Cost always counting two, the amount of money and the amount of time. Here we are talking in terms of time, reducing the barriers for the student to learn. Let them have flexible learning. Let them do work from anywhere possible. And for that, we, the institution, we, the teachers, and the industries have to collaborate together to bring the establishment of that NEP. Therefore, we have to shift our mindset totally from passive implementation. Passive implementation means those 5 units, maybe 40 hours of lesson plan, and we have to just complete the syllabus. No. We need to move towards architectural design of each single student seated in my class. And how we do that? Imagine if we have to meet all those Bloom's taxonomy 6 levels. Why we cannot? Let us join together and let's just have one case study coming from Harvard. And let the students study that case study in 5 different phases. Let him do. Same case study may have multiple solutions coming from the students. And when the case study also comes from Harvard, student is keen to do so. And in fact, we are also keen to do so. So the mentors focus on the independent thinkers. The way I was telling about my current BBA third year student, she wants to become an entrepreneur, manufacturer of chocolate. Similarly, another student of mine who has an electronic shop to be run by his father, he wants to go into manufacturing. Why can't we give them different thoughts, independent thoughts? Fundamentals go same, but each individual thought. How I know them is through mapping each individual students. So let us take the flexibility of implementing. Therefore, NEP does not need better policies. Policies, again new policies, again new policies. We do not need at all. But what NEP syllabus and then moving to the next. No. Coming back and assessing the student on rubric. How much has he grown? If the student is at the 10% of learning in the first year, has the student moved towards 40, 50, 60? That's the growth. NEP says let's break the silos of
Madam, your
setting.
PPT is not visible.
Okay, sir, I'll just share it again. So from where did we lose the connect? If you can share with me. Is it visible now, sir?
Visible, ma'am, visible.
All right, thank you. So what we were talking is, you can please tell me if you do not want to go with the PPT, I'm completely okay. But this is the version which I'm sharing through a common
No,
platform.
it is visible now. It is visible now.
Okay, great. So we really have to come out of those silos where the student used to study any bachelor's, any master's, and any PhD, and used to be master of one. Let me have an eye opener. Now the student has to be multidisciplinary in approach if they need to live respectfully. It means learning in terms of life coping skills and cognitive learning. But what if all these are also being mapped in the curricula? Because student will say, Madam, I'm 18. By 21, I'll finish my UG. Why should I study these additional? Then NEP gave us a beautiful gift, ABC, Academic Bank of Credits, where each learning gets added to the degree of the student. Whether the student studies from Swayam or through the university or college, the cumulative credits get added to his bank. So for instance, he wishes to go to any foreign universities, these all credits are cumulative. Multiple entry and exit is also one of the facility which been talked recently in 2020 through NEP. It says, according to the skill levels of 1 to 10, which is through NSQF, the multiple entry and exit says, if I take an example of any undergraduates, let's say Bachelor of Business Administration, God forbid, in any of the case, if the student completes only the first year of BBA, and due to financial reasons, any medical emergency, after qualifying first year, he cannot continue the study. Should he go for a loss of 1 year? He worked very hard. No, his work, 1 year of work should not go for waste. It should be eligible for level 4 of competency. So the student is eligible for a certificate, which is almost equivalent to an ITI certificate. They can come back and resume their learning in the second year. I've seen these kind of examples during pandemic hit. When students have lost their parents, they had a lot of financial crunches. Yes, NEP has become a blessing in that case for the students and for teachers as well. Then in second year, the student again comes and finishes. Second year, the student becomes eligible for a diploma. And when they complete the third year of their learning, they become eligible for a degree. You should ask me a question then, madam, what in the case of masters when it is MBA? Then 1 year calls for, the first year completion calls for a diploma because they are considered from the level 5 to level 6, 7, 8 and then forward. And 2 years become the degree. So ABC and multiple entry and exit has become brilliantly a blessing for us. Therefore, let's have the real-time scenarios in the classroom. Even the faculty members of science medical, pharmacy have started using storytelling. Last night, I was talking to an medical practitioner, ophthalmologist, and she was talking to me, Madam, can you help me doing the AI-enabled research in detecting virus infection in the bones? Imagine the kind of questions she asked me. She is a medical practitioner. I'm a management practitioner. She's asking me an interdisciplinary question. I said, Madam, I would love to help the students. This kind of approach we want. Why my MBA student cannot have a hospital coming in future? They can. Okay? So before we shift their mindset, we need to shift our mindsets as well. We need to open up. The world is open. The shift needs to go in collaboration where we study and train cross-departmental. Not only students get multidisciplinary, but we should also encourage our faculty members. For example, sir, in your case, Kochari sir, allow the faculty members to train in BBA to BCA, BCA to BCom. They will have a cross-functional understanding. What is the contribution of AI in taxation? Now, taxation, that dashboard, how is it helping my HR student to make the decision in terms of retention, increments? It's beautiful when we think. So we need to work collaboratively, not only in the single thing. So we really need to shift our mindset. Next time, it's a request to everybody when we get inside the classroom, let's ask how you think rather than asking, okay, tell me, what do you think? Let's shift our mindset and let's say how you think. Believe me, in today's era, student has more access to information than you and I together. Then what is the role of a teacher? The teacher's role is to give critical decision-making perspective, that ethical line of control which the student needs to know. Prioritizing the projects, understanding the problem, identifying the assessments. We need to move towards that area. And let's connect all the students into the real-time problems. When I go to the classrooms, when my teacher, my colleagues go to the classroom, they ask real-time problems. The teachers give first instance, the student have to talk about their problems and challenges. How are you managing your own funds in the shops? How are you managing the funds at home? How do you manage your own emotional intelligence? How? Let us replace what with how. And how this holistic growth needs to be mapped. This bell curve is very similar to all of us. When we started doing our graduation and then we all were becoming teachers, we all were being told the result will always be in that bell curve because we still have the habit of mapping the students on marks, which they get in the class test, unit test, assignments, whatever. Where do we need a next shift? We need a next shift that just the marks are not the true pictures of the student's progress. Rather, it needs to have a cumulative progress card, which tells us whether the student has any kind of critical thinking, creativity, is he able to work with other colleagues? Does he relate to people when they want to grow, they're overwhelmed? How much he knows green marketing, how much he knows digital literacy. These all can come only in terms of scorecard when we practice it through the rubrics. We together have to do it. And rubric making is way simpler, very simple. Therefore, we need to change the entire movement from just the numbers to the holistic scenario of 360-degree progress card. And this progress card should be with us and the student as a transparent. If you want, later on someday I'll share, or you can go through the link and I keep on sharing it there as well. So there is a rubric which can assess the student in terms of marks, evaluation, all these cognitive learning and life coping. Believe me, it's a true reflection. How am I moving on? We are not alone in this. The digital infrastructure has made this pedagogy way simpler for all of us. NEP 2020 has said maximum 40% can be taught through any of the MOOC platforms, especially Swayam, maybe Swayam or Swayam Plus. And that gets completely mapped with the academic bank of credits. So actually this reality is the world has transformed and the blended learning has come into picture. Wherein, just give me 1 minute, please.
Sarap shifting ito na yung magandang nila. एक काम दिसते अरे पाहर मिला तो फास्ट होता है
मिसप्रिंट करते हैं.
तो मैं आपसे प्लीज ब्लॉक करनी मान की देखते हैं
टेक केयर सर.
Ma'am, hello.
Sir, I'm here. I'm just back.
Okay,
There was an emergency call, so I thought of taking it. Thank you so much. So yes, the dual engine of the real work application, it actually talks about when the NEP says that every student will surely go through the core degree. What gears we need to shift are only two. First, all the students, especially in terms of UG, we need to put all the students on the gear of research. All the students must write any research, any case study, and we should give them a support to publish in terms of Scopus, Web of Science, ABDC, anywhere. In that way, our score also gets increased. And second gear we need to shift is, rather than just the degree mindset, the student and all of us need to shift our mindset towards the capability building. Here I would like to quote a question to everybody, and maybe one of you or two of you can open your mic and speak. In case if I have two candidates in my hand, candidate A with 85% marks, brilliant English spoken, well dressed, but he cannot deal with teams. He cannot handle pressures. Candidate B, who is a 75% scorecard, well presentable, average looking person, but knows very well how to gel with the team and get the team aligned with the organizational goal. Anybody, please tell me, whom will you hire? Candidate A or candidate B?
Candidate B.
Yes, we'll hire candidate B. This is what exactly NEP is saying. Rather than putting the student only on the numbers, only on the degree, let's move towards the capability. Student, how much can they handle? Therefore, what I say, according to NEP, let's focus the entire work towards publication, and 50% of the training of the students should be through the extra learning, maybe through conference, maybe through industry projects, maybe through problem statements, and so on and so forth, which is way beyond just the classroom teaching. Now, this is all of our pain. NEP says everything the teacher has to do. But yes, there is a bundle of workload, a bundle of traditional method which is already existing in the team. So the architectural transformation is surely not easy, but it's not impossible. We need to go gradual, one unit at a time. At Titankar Mahavir University, our team has done it so brilliantly. We started somewhere in June, and till the end of July, by today, every faculty has joined the hands together, gradually one unit at a time. They have created, redefining the way they are going to use the pedagogical skills in teaching and training inside the classroom, the learning material, the lesson plan, and then aligned it together. Just the experience gap was there. In every organization, we're going to have different age group of teachers, different experienced teachers. Therefore, in that case, we just need to go for certain trainings, handle the teachers, and bring them up. There would be some infrastructural realities, but the digital transformation makes everything going easier. All the AI tools like Notebook LM, Copilot, Multi AI, so and so forth can make the life easier and quicker. Lastly, during the transformation stage, we all need to have that resistance to be handled very nicely. There are people working in the system with a perfect mindset. I know everything. I'm sure you may also have heard the statement, Madam, I know everything. I've been working here since long. Rather than having that discomfort, gradually pushing them or handholding them towards what is going in the industry and what shift is required from everybody together. So transformation is going to be fatigue, but it's the need of our. We have to get it done. So to do that, we have 4 pillars helping us constantly. One pillar, Dr. Kothari sir is already handling IIC wonderfully. That's another part of IQSC cell. They structure the quality and curriculum design. So they always keep on supporting all of us what is needed in the industry, in the academia, in the rankings. Fair enough. Another domain is taken care of by NEP. Everything what student studies comes under ABC. So don't worry, madam, you just keep on training the students. I'll take care of the rest. All right, that scorecard is one, but additional learning is mapped globally on the ABC, which is visible to the whole world. Then professional development programs, like Pratmesh sir is doing for all of us, under the guidance of Shah sir and Kothari sir, all the refresher course, which brings us, the teachers, transform to the new technologies, pedagogies to come up to that level. We, the teachers, can use Notebook LM, Copilot, and Claude. These are the best blessings for all the teachers. That video which I used in the earlier slide number 2, that was developed by Notebook LM. There are so many of them. So let's focus towards quality and come out of the rudimentary. And then creating peer network. The mentoring across the table, across the departments, across the city like we are doing together. So these 4 pillars are always going to be helpful for all of us. So my dear colleagues, what is the checklist in order to implement NEP 2020? Let's begin. Let's decide together by today, we go one step at a time. We take only one unit and then define the outcome, what we require. So we start from PO, PSO, PO, then CO, only one unit, please, at a time. And then we define how we are going to give the experiential learning. Are we going to talk about Barclays in my BBA Human Resource Management class? Yes, I'm going to. Barclays is known to be the top IT company, top banking BFSI company, which has highest number of women working in it. Becomes intentional. So let's map one unit at a time. Add more formative tools, not just the numbers, but mapping in terms of rubric, where the qualitative inputs of cognitive learning, personality learning, emotional resilience, life coping skills can also be trained to the students. I keep everything as one because for me, all these have top priorities when I list on my students. Then let us have minimum one cross-departmental collaboration opportunity. Maybe in terms of research, maybe in terms of learning, maybe in terms of even industry visit. Let them work together. At least one Swayam course needs to be done by the student and the faculty. You know what? In case of us having 20 working load per week, if we use NEP 2020, if we put 10% of our curriculum through Swayam, the entire load comes down by 10% and the learning goes higher. It's a win-win situation. Why can't we do that? I know we all are doing it. Then the organizers or the learners, the learning material providers like NASCOM and other organizations, they also become proactive in providing concessions to the examination fees. Recently, Tirthankar Mahavir University did 2 MOUs with the learning platforms on Swayam, the service providers, the learning material providers, and they promised to give free of cost examination to all the students, just with the motive of letting the students learn. Imagine, it needs to start with us. Barriers are going to be everywhere. But we need to think, are we ready? If yes, sky's the limit. You just say industry is ready to give us everything. And let's do 1-to-1 mapping of the student. Who can do what? So let's shift our mindset from what do you think to how do you think? There's so many compounding. This is the best slide and this is my favorite slide. Whenever I get lost anywhere and I'm not able to decide what am I going to do, I'm sharing the same with you. My dear colleagues, what we do inside the classroom contributes to the every individual classroom's performance. What we do with the every classroom contributes to the institutional transformation. And when every institution in the country is working together in the same notion, my dear friends, we contribute to the nation, the Viksit Bharat for 2047 vision. It starts from people like you and I, who are going every single day in the classroom to ignite the mind of the students. So what are we waiting for? Everything is given to us. It's just we need to start. These are certain examples when I'm posting them on the LinkedIn. Nobody is stopping me. You can also do so. Now, sharing your thoughts with everybody, inspiring everyone. This is just one example where I talked about NEP when it talks in terms of the implementation in terms of outcome-based education, which needs to be mapped with Bloom's taxonomy, in terms of job, in terms of national skills qualification framework, and the IIC head and the IQSC head, when they will file for NBA NAC accreditation process, how many marks have been there. So when we share these kind of learnings with our own colleagues, our understanding becomes way easier. This is just recent example done today. Why can't we share it with everybody? Let's do it. It's our focus area. We have to mutually shift from the input-based education, where I'm teaching, which we used to call spoon feeding. No more needed. Now we are moving towards outcome-based education that is completely focused on experiential learning based on the governance. I know there is no need to go for all those 66 policies under NEP 2020. But what is needed is to know how much impact we can create. So please tell me, does the transformation start in the parliament? No. It starts inside the classroom, inside every student who is sweeping and overhauled. My question to everybody, the thought of the day, contribution of an NEP, how teachers are taking care. So will it work? Every faculty should not be asking, say, will NEP get implemented? Rather, let us start saying, I will lead it. Can we do that so? See, I cannot ask the question, will I lead it? By default, my system says, I will lead it. So if I can do it, I can handhold at least 5 in my team to bring them up. They will bring 5 more. So we do not need any permission to transform my classes. You just need intentions. And I just wish to share a live experience with all of you. This is the live experience which I'm going to share with you. See this. See, the world has no barriers. You just need to go and speak and show the intent. I am ready to do it. Would you join hands? Now let me show you the feedback coming in here. I hope my screen is visible. See, the professor of accounting is writing how NEP is helping him. Now, Dr. Neeraj Saxena sir is a vice chancellor in Kolkata. He is writing the contributions. Now imagine how many people are reading it. Will I be doing it? I will lead it. This is the perspective. And that's how the conversation starts. See, the faculty, the facilitator comes in. The assessors have started writing. So if I go on looking at the impressions, look, just in a few days, I think I started writing 5 days ago. Just in 5 days, if 7,000 people can get inspired and read it through, imagine the kind of ripple effect we all can create together. 1%, 7,000. Right now I have more than 100 participants. So 100 into 7,000. Wow, mera maths kharab hai. But Hari sir will help me in getting the maths done. So let's shift our mindset. NEP doesn't say that, will I be able to do it? NEP says, let me do it. And I'm going to do it. With this, I close my session and I say that NEP says, you are empowered, I am empowered. Let's together make it work.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Oh my God, really Yeah, I can say it was a real eye opener. The madam has explained so many things and in a so much better way. I think it's really worth. Now I request all the participants to if you can ask your questions. The platform is open for the questions. I'm sure if each one of us are feeling enlightened right now.
Madam, good evening. This is Dr. Srinivas Datta here. Am I audible, madam?
Yes, you're audible, sir.
Yes. Madam, can you give us some ideas where we can implement some new subjects or new streams in BCom from other subjects which is currently demanded in various industries?
Yes, sir. These all go through a BOS, Board of Studies, the process. In terms of BCom, NEP has implemented 4 years of learning.
Hello, ma'am. Are you there, ma'am?
Hello.
Sir, 1 minute.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Hello. Hello.
Just a minute, everyone. Ma'am will soon come back.
I'm sorry, I think there were some network issues coming in between. So you were asking what new subjects can we implement and add on in terms of BCom. NEP has already mentioned 4 years of progression in BCom. So research can be added in the fourth year. In seventh semester, we can have in the,
Hello.
in, hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah.
You
So
you
seventh
talk about the developmental paradigm, in particularly related to the human resource management process and the cultural change and sustainability, and even the resolutions by the higher management. How we can cope up with these changes? Will you please? I'm Principal Dr. Kazi from Dharashu College of Social Work.
Yes, sir. Sir, there has to be a systematic approach to send these recommendations to the management.
Yeah.
Right. So if you want to make changes in the curriculum, it goes through the faculty meeting, faculty review, then BOS, then
Okay.
it goes to the academic council.
Okay.
But till the time we are reaching there, additional learning is no barrier for anybody. All right.
Okay.
So what I do is TCS, Wipro, IBM,
Okay.
Microsoft,
Okay.
PwC,
Okay.
everybody provides free of cost learning on their platforms.
Okay.
What I do is sustainability certification, I embed in my HRM class and
Okay.
the simulation. So
Okay.
instead of a student submitting just a handwritten assignment, I ask them to complete certification and do a practical simulation and then come back to me. That is an additional learning. So right now, artificial intelligence, AI employees are being imbibed
Okay.
in their system. So that is called HRAI. All right, I can even write you in the chat box. I don't know where is it. If the team can write. So HRAI is the new need
Yeah.
wherein you have to hire a lot of people. The
Okay.
HR AI employee can work everything for you.
Okay.
That technique needs to be taught to each every student, sir. And
Yes.
it doesn't need anything.
No.
Copilot, Claude,
Yeah.
ChatGPT, the
Yeah.
highest version, everything is there free of cost.
Okay.
It's just we need to handle them, train them, and put them in the Mark it. All right. Now you do the research. The entire dashboard they will bring for you.
Yeah,
So this is what we need to do, sir.
nice. Very happy to listen your experiential talk.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you, Malvika.
Yes, anyone has any more questions for Charul ma'am?
Prathamesh,
Yes, sir.
you conclude.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. And really, it was a blessing for us to have you. And now I request Dr. Rajni Shirsagar, ma'am, to propose vote of thanks.
Thank you, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. Today's resource person, Professor Dr. Charu Jain ma'am from Tirthankar Mahavir University, Moradabad, Honorable Principal Dr. Satyajit Shah sir, respected Head of the Management Department, Dr. Pritam Kothari sir, dear participants from various institutions. It is my privilege to propose the vote of thanks on behalf of the institution's Innovation Council of Hirachand Nemchand College of Commerce, Solapur. First and foremost, I express our deepest gratitude to esteemed resource person, Professor Charul Jain ma'am. Ma'am, you took time out of your busy schedule and gave us such a rich and practical session on the implementation of NEP 2020. Your insights on the changing role of a teacher as a facilitator, a mentor, and an innovator have given all of us many points to reflect upon and, more importantly, to act on it. You have covered some key aspects like interdisciplinary approach, blended learning methods, architectural transformation, 360-degree progress card, and many more. Thank you so much, ma'am. We look forward to your continued guidance in the future. Definitely, we will work honestly on the checklist given by you and we will lead the NEP. Further, I extend my sincere gratitude to all the participants from various institutions who joined us today and made this event truly a national level event. I respectfully thank our Honorable Principal Dr. Satyajit Shah sir for his constant support and encouragement to all the activities of IIC. Also, I thank Dr. Pritam Kothari sir, Head of the Management Department and President of IIC, for his valuable guidance and for gracing this session with his welcome speech. A special thanks to IIC Coordinator Professor Prathamesh Andheli sir and the entire organizing team for the smooth conduct of this webinar right from the concept to today's session. Grateful to our technical team for managing Google Meet and YouTube live stream so efficiently. Finally, I thank each and everyone who contributed to the success of this event directly or indirectly. With this, I conclude my vote of thanks. Thank you all. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you so
Prathamesh
much.
sir, ask everyone to turn on the camera and take one screenshot.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I request all the participants to turn on your cameras so that we can have have a beautiful snap for this event. Please turn on your front cams so that we can take a snap.
Chalo, thank you.
Yes, thank you, sir.
Thanks a lot, ma'am.
Hey.
Thank you so much, all the participants. Thank you. It was really like, oh my God. Wow. So much knowledge and so much like exposure. Two pretty knowledge. Really great. Wow. Very challenging. And what a, and I tell you, what a pleasant personality she is. Exactly. कुछ लोगों को ना देख के ऐसे negativity आती है. She was very pleasant, positivity. Very positive. तस्वीर है ख्वाब की। टेक्स्ट में कॉपी कर। हाँ, एग्जैक्टली। Okay. तस्वीर है ख्वाबों के रंग की। अरे लिंक काम कर देगा ना एक बार। क्लिक करो शिफ्ट अंतर। पुरुषोत्तम की भाई साहब, पुरुषोत्तम। ये स्टार्टिंग में कुछ काम था इस वाला ये मुझे चाहिए देखिए लेकिन मंस जो सोच ये बाबा एक्सपोज नहीं हुआ। What a wonderful, what a wonderful and enlightening enlightening session. Mhm. Mhm. Session. नहीं मैम याद तो नहीं। मेरे कल से आपको फोन करना रह गया था। मैं आपको वो बताने वाला था कि मैं आपको जो मुझे आपको जोक एक्सप्लेन करना था और आपको वो प्रॉपरली बोलना था। इन्होंने बीच में और एज ऑलवेज बोलना स्टार्ट कर दिया और मेरा पॉइंट बाद में रह गया। तो यू आर सेइंग कि मेरा बेटा बहुत अच्छा पढ़ाता है और वो उसका नेचुरल टीचिंग वो अच्छा है। तो मैं बोला कि 23rd क्रोमोसोम वो कहाँ से है पता है क्या? जब अभी जो अपना डीएनए बनता है ना बच्चों का वोम्ब में, जब डीएनए बनता है ना तो वो डीएनए में 46 क्रोमोसोम्स के होते हैं, पर 23 पेयर्स होते हैं। ओके, 23 पेयर ऑफ क्रोमोसोम्स होते हैं अपने बॉडी में जब बच्चा पैदा होता है। तो उसमें से जो 23rd क्रोमोसोम होता है ना, पेयर होता है ना, वो डिसाइड करता है कि वो बच्चा क्या बनेगा, करियर क्या बनेगा। तो आपका वो उधर है। मैं आपको फोन पे बताने वाला था ये कल शाम को, ये पूरा मतलब
कनेक्ट
हाँ हाँ, इतना वो रह गई थी बात अपनी कल की।
एक्चुअली सही बात है ये, बहुत अच्छा सिखाता है वो भी।
मुझे एक्चुअली मिलना है उससे। आई टोल्ड यू ना, आई वांट टू मोटिवेट हिम फॉर गो फॉर आईएएस।
ये सच में मेरा
गो फॉर आईएएस, क्योंकि अगर विदाउट कॉलेज वो इतना अच्छा कर रहा है तो सोचो वो अकेले अगर
सोचो वो ना ऐसे बैठेगा ना 1 घंटा, पूरा चैप्टर खत्म कर देगा 1 घंटे में।
क्या बात है।
अकाउंट्स का पूरा, मतलब यहाँ बच्चे रट्टा मार रहे
कितना लेजर शार्प फोकस होगा उसका।
मतलब मैं बोलूँ कि कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर क्या होता है, डेबिट क्रेडिट का क्या रूल्स है, रेवेन्यू एक्सपेंडिचर, डेफर्ड रेवेन्यू, ऐसे लेगा वो 1 घंटा ऐसे गो 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 करेगा। फिर आप उससे पूछो कुछ नहीं,
बाप रे बाप रे बाप रे।
he will give you answer with explanation why it is capital expenditure.
ग्रास्पिंग लेवल खतरनाक, फोकस इतना जबरदस्त है, कम टाइम में इतना कुछ कर रहा है। ही कुड बी इजीली आईएएस एट 21-22। यूपी में पैदा हुए बच्चों के डीएनए में आईएएस तो होता ही है। ये नहीं करेगा तो क्या करेगा।
सीरियसली बहुत स्मार्ट है
और अदरवाइज ये जर्नी ऐसी है ना मैम यूपीएससी की, वो पर्सनालिटी बहुत निखार के सामने आती है फिर लोगों की, मेच्योर हो जाते हैं। हाँ, एक बात के 1000 पर्सपेक्टिव आपको सिखाती है यूपीएससी जर्नी। एटलीस्ट द माइंड इज सो विल गेट सो ब्रॉडन। और क्या चाहिए। 2 पदरी रोड चल रहा है इधर, 8 पदरी रोड हो जाएगा। 4 ट्रक आएंगे, 4 ट्रक जाएंगे।
यार मेरा कंट्रैक्ट नहीं हो रहा, समझ नहीं पा रहे मैंने कहाँ रख दिया।
आप पीसी,
पंकज सर के पीसी में लगाया था।
इस पीसी भी नहीं है।
नहीं उधर मैंने लगाया था। नहीं उसमें तो कुछ तो करना पड़ेगा इस याददाश्त का।
हाँ ओके।
सुबह से देखो ना इतना बिजी गया है। 3-4 इवेंट पाए जाते हैं।
3-4 हाँ
परसों का 13 और 14
कल फोटोग्राफी में मैं हुआ। नो वरीज।
यस यस यस, इसलिए वो
बच्चों को भी लगा तो मैं भी करता हूँ, आप टेंशन मत लो।
नहीं, इसलिए मैं टेंशन फ्री हो गई, पता है मैंने किसी बच्चे को बोला भी नहीं।
नहीं
पता है
अरे मैं कर लूँ।
चलो मिलते हैं कल।
थैंक यू मैम।
अच्छा मैं करते हैं।
हाँ कल मुझे भी अच्छा इस्त्री करनी पड़ेगी। ये तस्वीर है ख्वाब के रंग की, सपनों की। अच्छा सर, थैंक यू सो मच सर, ऑल क्रेडिट गोes to HOS. He decided everything. I'm just putting the status. बघा की सर, it was a wonderful and enlightening session by Dr. Charma. Special thanks to our IS President. President Dr. P.P. Kotak.
ये किसके लॅपटॉप
हे माझ्या बहिणीचे. आजच्या कार्यक्रमासाठी तिने मी किडनॅप केलं 2 दिवसासाठी.
आपला म्हणतो आपण.
आप कोणी IIC president Dr. Pitin Kothari sir.
हे कुठला युनिव्हर्सिटी सर? तीर्थंकर महावीर युनिव्हर्सिटी किधर आहे?
उत्तर प्रदेश. उत्तर प्रदेश. Yes. What a great way to celebrate. Report. ये तस्वीर है बाबुल रंगोली सपन की दाररंग ताररंग मैं को यार मैं तुम @ कुठे आहे? हाँ हेलो मैम. हॅलो. हा मॅम, तुम्ही आत्ता एक 10 मिनिटं आपलं जे आत्ता जे हे झालंय IIScचं इव्हेंट झालंय ऑनलाईन वेबिनार, त्याचं जर मी तुम्हाला हे पाठवलं फोटोज आणि हे पाठवलं तर तुम्ही पोस्ट करू शकता का लिंक्डइनला? अरे ओके ओके. मग मला त्याचा ऍक्सेस तर देता का? मी करू का? हा ID पासवर्ड द्या. मी अपलोड करतो आणि सगळ्यांना टॅग करतो. मॅम टॉप सिक्रेट मॅम. येस येस, पिंकी प्रॉमिस. पिंकी प्रॉमिस. चालते चालते. मला प्लीज शेअर करा मॅम. ओके ओके ओके. बापरे. ठीक आहे. गाड्या.
you.